Before we get started, let me show you guys what you can expect from this tutorial. When I opened the app, both the Python server and Unreal Engine game started simultaneously. When I enter 12345 and click send, the Python sends receive acknowledgement that is displayed in the game and prints them out in the console, prints the values out in the console. So it is possible to send and receive data between Unreal Engine and Python using this method. Now I will just type in a close to close the Python server. I exit the Python server, close, and now the Python server gets exited. This is what we will be building now. Let's begin by creating a new blank project in Unreal Engine. Go to Games and click blank and rename the project name to whatever you want. In my case, I will be renaming it to Python UE and click create. Now click Files, New Level and click Empty Level. Click Create button. A new empty level is created. To save it, click on the floppy disk icon and rename the map to Python and save. Now go to Edit, click Plugins and search for TCP socket. And if you cannot see the TCP socket plugin by Spartan Tools, go to the Unreal Engine Marketplace and install it. Since I have it, I will just enable the plugin and restart the Unreal Engine. Now go to Edit and click on Project Settings and click on Maps and Modes section in the project settings and change the default map to the empty map we just created. And now open the empty map that we created and let's just create a blueprint of TCP socket connection. Now let's open the new blueprint and go to event graph. I'll be deleting the event begin, overlap and event tick as we don't need it in this tutorial. Search for connect, which is under socket section, and drag out the event begin play execution pin and connect it to the connect execution pin. Enter the IP address as 127.0.0.1, which is localhost, and enter port as 5001. Now let's create a custom event for on disconnect, on connected and on message received by dragging the pins from the connect node and search for custom event. Create a print string node by dragging from the custom event of on connected to indicate whether the game is connected to the server or not. To print the message received from the Python server, drag the pin from message array in the custom event of on the message received and search for read string under the socket section. From the return value of read string, drag the pin and search for print string. Before compiling the blueprint, drag the pin from message array and search for length and connect its output pin to string length in read string. Now let's go to Python side of things. If you don't have Python already installed on your machine, go to python.org and download the latest Python installer. When installing Python, tick the add Python to path checkbox. If you don't, then you will have to manually add the path to the system path, else the Python command won't work in command prompt. After installing Python, open up your favorite text editor. For me, it's VS Code. So I will just open the VS Code. And create a new file, Python file. Let's start by importing the necessary modules. All these modules are in Python by default, so we don't have to pip anything yet. We will be making a simple TCP server to connect with Unreal Engine. We won't be using the address, but we still have to mention it here, as the server.accept function returns a tuple of 2. Since this is an infinite while loop, to stop the program, let's add an if statement and stop the program once we enter close in the game, which in turn closes the server connection and the server program itself. And now save the file in the same location as the Unreal project. Go to the Unreal Engine editor and drag and drop the new blueprint into the empty level we created. Unreal Engine project. Open a terminal there and start typing python space server.py and hit enter. Oh, sorry guys, the bind function is supposed to take a tuple as input. So let's go and change it now. Now go to Unreal editor and click play. In the server side of it will show connected, so it works perfectly. Let's create a widget. Open your content browser, right click, select user interface, widget blueprint, and widget blueprint create. A widget blueprint will be created. Open it and in the search bar type canvas panel and drag and drop it into the hierarchy. Next, search for vertical box and add it into the canvas panel. Similarly, search for a text block and add an editable text box to send the message to the server. Then add a button to initiate a connection with the Python server. And add a text block to the button to display send text on the button. Now position the vertical box to the center of the screen. Tick the isVariable checkbox on the added text block, editable text box and the button to use them in the event graph. In the event graph, drag from the event construction pin and search for spawn actor from the class and select the class as the blueprint that we previously created and promote the output pin to a variable. Now hit compile and we have an error. We just need to split the spawn transform pin and compile it again. The error is gone. We don't need a spawn transform as the actor just has to be in the level and its location doesn't matter. Create on-click event for button. Wait, first let's go back to the new blueprint and create a custom event to connect to the server and name it send underscore btn. Create a send data node to send the data to the Python server. We can't send it as plain text or string. We need to convert it into bytes. So right click and search for string to byte under the socket and connect the output to data to send pin and promote the input string to a variable and rename it to send underscore val and connect the connection ID pin from custom event to connection ID in the send data. Then promote the read string output to a variable and save it to display val. Compile and save the blueprint and switch back to the widget blueprint. The new var get display val and let's set it as text of text block. And from the new var, search for set send val and set it to the text in the editable text box. And get the send button event from new var and connect it with the execution pin. Now delete the previously placed actor from the level and open the level blueprint. In the begin play, create widget, select the widget we have created and add it to the viewport. And drag the execution pin. Search for set show mouse cursor after unticking the context sensitive checkbox. In the set show mouse cursor, tick the checkbox and drag the target pin. Search for get player controller. Hit compile and save the blueprint. Before testing the game, let's quickly change the color of the text in the editable text box to black. Now go back to the Python server and run it in the terminal before running the game. The game is connected successfully and it can now send and receive data from and to the server, but it's not receiving the data properly. Wait. Now let's go back to the widget blueprint and change the order in which the display value is set and add a delay node of 1 second. Start playing the game. It works like it is intended to work. If we type close, the server exits in the terminal. Now the UI side of things have been completed. Let's proceed to build the game for Windows. Go to Platforms, Windows, Package Project, and create a new folder and rename it to Build. Select that folder. Now the UE5 will build the project. The server program that we coded is in Python format. We need to build an executable file from it. But even if we build an app from the server code, user will have to run the server and game separately. So we will write a Python code to open both the server and the game simultaneously, something like a game launcher. Create new Python file. We will create a try catch block to open the game and the server app together and print the file not found in case the try block can't open the files. Here, type server instead of temp. Save it in the same location as the build directory of your game and move the server.py file also to the same location. Go to the build directory and open a terminal. Type pip install PyInstaller to install a module that builds an executable file from .py file. After installing it, type PyInstaller space server.py. Once the server.exe is built successfully, type PyInstaller space python ue.py. Now let's delete all the unnecessary files and move the internal folder and Python UE app to the build directory. To run the game, open python ue.exe file. Notice that just like how I showed you in the tutorial preview, the game and the server open simultaneously. That's it for this project. I made this project by expanding the features that I just showed you and adding the YOLO V8 object recognition model to the game. To show you guys how powerful Python with Unreal Engine can be. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, share and subscribe for more content on Python with Unreal Engine.